Yes, madam.
Okay,
Shall we
sir.
start?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine.
I'll start, sir. I'll give over to you, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine.
Good afternoon to all. Welcome to the afternoon session of Day 5. I welcome Mr. Sharath Chandra, Manager, Devices Reliance Geo Infocom Limited, to this program. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
I also welcome deans, HODs, staff, and students of various departments to this session. I welcome you all. Now I request Mr. Tej Kumar J, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical, to introduce Mr. Sharath Chandra, Manager Devices, Reliance Jio Infocom Limited, to the gathering. Over to you, Tej Kumar, sir.
Okay. Thank you, madam. So, good afternoon, dear students. It's my privilege to welcome my good friend, a scholar, a product designer, and a thinker and activist, Mr. Sharath Chandra S. So, Manager, Devices, Reliance Jio Infocom Limited. So Sir has completed his engineering from National Institute of Engineering, NIE Mysuru in 2008 and worked in many industries, and he pursued his MTech in product design and manufacturing from VTU, and later he served in various industries as a product designer. So he has 10 years of experience in design and development of FMCG products. He worked in design and development of refrigerators, LED lighting fixtures, electromechanical devices like mobile phones, laptops, and Internet of Things devices. So Sir has filed 8 patents in design for water filters, ice making, and aesthetics enhancement in refrigerators. So he has hands-on experience in innovation, new product development, value engineering, and many other fields. So he has extensive experiences in designing components as per international standards. So sir, he has worked in Wipro, Tech Mahindra, and presently he is working in Jio as a manager of devices in Reliance Jio Infocom Limited. So it's my privilege to welcome him once again, and over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Tej Kumar. Yeah, let me share my screen, and I'll also switch on the video for the benefit of all the students and teachers. So let me start by thanking ATME for giving me this opportunity to present and share some of the recent technologies, the updates that are actually happening in engineering, as well as some of the challenges that are also we are experiencing in this field. So I will start with the usual question of all the online streaming nowadays, right? So can you all hear me and see me?
Yes, Sharath, you are visible, but your presentation is not visible.
Okay, okay. Right. So how about now?
So your presentation is visible, sir, but you are not visible.
Okay. Same thing now. That presentation is visible, right?
Presentation
Yes, sir.
visible. You can continue, Sharath. No
Okay,
problem.
okay, huh? Sure. Okay. Then let us start this session right after lunch. I think this has become a new normal nowadays, especially for people like us who are working from home from the past 8 months. So this is like a mix of bags of both advantage and disadvantage of working from home. Uh, The plus point, yes, you get to share your time with your family. That is one thing. But the other thing is that you have this informal way of connecting to people, which is a delight at first, but later as the time progresses, it is becoming a strain for a lot of people, because many of the times we are working from home, and it becomes very difficult to converse, right, with each other uh, without the ability to actually physically see and interact with each other. So it's most of the time it's almost all the emails bouncing back and forth, and very less amount of work actually getting executed at the end of the day. Anyway, let me start with today's topic of recent trends and challenges that we are experiencing in the engineering field. So let me take an example of something like this. See, for example, the pandemic that has happened from past 8 to 9 months. We are still living under the reels of it during the pandemic. So there are three aspects to the pandemic: the technology and the pandemic, which has actually coped together. One is the emergence of three new products that actually what happened is that it started to accelerate the development of three such products. I think you are able to see only one of this, right? So the first one of it is the masks, right? The emergence of the masks. So suddenly after the pandemic hit, everybody wanted to know where the masks are, what is the cost of the masks, how effective these masks are. So that was the first question that the public actually went through, and the industry also coped with manufacturing and selling so many masks. So at the start of the pandemic, India was actually reeling behind in developing and distributing the masks. As of now, by August, I think India, we as a country, we are actually producing more than 1.5 billion masks. So also have the capability of exporting it to a large parts of the world as well. The second aspect of the pandemic that has created innovation is in terms of sanitizers and also in terms of ventilators. Sanitizers, yes, right. Suddenly, if you go to a mall, if you go to any kind of market nowadays, you can see so many companies that have come up with different types of sanitizers. The composition of a sanitizer might be simple, but they are using different types of colorants, different types of effervescents, different types of packaging products, so that customers suddenly we have a full range of sanitizer to actually pick and buy from. So again, this is the second aspect that has caught up very quickly from the past 8 months, which all of us are seeing a change. The third one, especially, is the ventilator, right? You might have seen a lot of discussions, lot of developments that actually happened to develop low-cost ventilators. Yes, lot of the engineering students from Indian Institute of Science to IITs to NITs to local colleges, lot of colleges, they have also tried to develop very effective low-cost ventilators as well. So these are the three things that have picked up the imagination, and what we might call in engineering is that they have catered to the necessity of the public. So apart from this, let me just get into the details of this as to make you understand how the variants of a single product can actually create a whole diverse market in itself, right? There will be a lot of different types of variants of a single product. For example, sanitizers, right? From the sanitizer, if I take sanitizer as a primary product, from the sanitizer suddenly came automatic dispensers, right? There are companies that have invested millions to actually make automatic dispensers. And you might have seen this is a new normal everywhere, that we are seeing dispenser stands nowadays, right? But the I don't know that the fever has come down as of now. of using the sanitizers or using the dispensers nowadays. So these are the two variants that have come from a primary product such as a sanitizer. The second biggest advantage, or I might say, unfortunately, online education has become a big buzz nowadays, especially after the pandemic hit. Many of the companies, many of the startups, they have invested again lot of money into online education. For example, you might be seeing a stream of ads that are actually coming in TVs, in different types of social medias. You have the Byju's, you have the Khan Academy, you have the EDX, right? You have so many online platforms nowadays, and though this is actually available at your fingertips, it is becoming very difficult to make the kids understand the online education, right? That interaction between the kids as well as the teachers in a virtual world is becoming rather very difficult with aspect to the education. Second variant of education, you might be already seeing that companies are coming up with different types of laptops. Suddenly the purchase of laptops, tablets and smartphones to cater to the online education has skyrocketed in the past 6 to 8 months, right? There are already a lot of NGOs, media, they are also helping in pitching in to actually give the tablets, to give the smartphones to the kids, right? And the third aspect of the pandemic, I'll tell you what I started with this presentation is something like work from home. So as more and more people are opting to work from home, you have new products that are actually entering the market. For example, furnitures. There are companies that are doling out money to the professionals so that they can actually buy a very good piece of furniture so that they are much more comfortable in their home. You have a central desk station, kind of a station where you can put all the work related things. So furnitures have become a primary market nowadays with respect to work from home. And also this is something that all of us understand already, that the internet speed and bandwidth, right, that has also shot up. So the bandwidth that we were using earlier, it is not sufficient, because suddenly you are finding that more than 5-6 people are in a home and everybody is using internet, and the speed has actually come down. So people are they want more bandwidth so that they can actually work more efficiently from home. And lastly, I don't need to say about this, entertainment, right? OTT platforms, Amazon Prime, Netflix, you have Disney, Hotstar, so many things. I'm sure that most of you would have seen lot of movies, right? Lot of movies, documentaries, right? From past few months. The OTT has become a completely new platform that has, I would say, that has decimated the screen viewing, or people actually going into the theaters, right? Theaters, people who have invested crores of rupees in malls, the DRCs and other types of theaters, they have suddenly become defunct, because people are opting to launch their movies, to launch the documentaries over the OTTs. And other type of entertainment which is very important, especially for children, because people like us, we can stay at home, we can be isolated, we can work together, but it is making the children grow up without their friends, or without the school, that is becoming very difficult nowadays. And there are lots and lots of companies that are investing in toy designs nowadays. So you can see that P. Sainath, one of the famous uh, scientists and also a philanthropist, he actually wrote a book which is known as uh, see, every drought can actually, it can become a business to others, right? Something like this pandemic, though it is actually very tragic in nature, that is at the other end, it is creating a lot of business as well. So unfortunate but true that it has benefited a lot of people. At the same time, lots and lots of people have also gone down. They have lost their jobs. There are large market disruptions that are actually happening. So something which is unprecedented is happening around the world as we speak. So this is with regards to the pandemic and technology. So as an engineer, right? So as a group of enthusiastic, students who want to pursue their career in engineering. So when you get into engineering, there are a lot of things that are actually going through your mind, especially regarding the products that are there in the market. So imagine that as an engineer, you are seeing that a lot of products are entering into the market. As I have already shown you a list of these kind of things. So if I wanted to manufacture something like this, a mask that is there in the market, right? So there are a lot of startups, a lot of companies, they want to manufacture. As a budding entrepreneur, imagine that you are an entrepreneur and you want to start a company, you want to start something so that you can actually manufacture, design a mask. So where do you start? As an engineer, right? So as a layman, what I will think, I will be thinking on three aspects of any product. So if you take any product, there are generally three aspects to it. Let me just cover it through a layman's definition of a product. Imagine that, as I told you, that if you want to make and sell a three-layered mask, that you want to introduce a new variant of this mask to the market, right? So what is the first thing that you will be looking at? The first thing that you want to understand is what is the science behind it, right? A three-layer mask, what does it contain? If you want to start a business of developing and selling masks, this is the first thing that anybody wants to know. What is there in a mask? If it is three layers, right? A lot of things that you can see, that you can find in the internet, you can find in the books. So what happens? You have a non-woven fabric, a melt-down non-woven. Again, all blah 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 technical jargon that actually goes in about the science. Right? The second aspect to it. Okay, now that you know the science behind it, so if I want to manufacture this and give it to a large amount of population, you have kids, right? You have kids who need a smaller mask. Then you have older age people. You have people who actually have a bigger chin width. You have people who have smaller noses. So lots of variations in the population that you want to sell these masks. So size becomes a very important aspect. So then you have an elastic ear loop so that it can actually accommodate the different size and variations of the faces of the people, right? This is the second aspect to it. What is the third aspect? After you understood the science behind it, you will ask a person who is actually sourcing it, get all these things together. So before you want to sell all these things, color also becomes very important, right? So you have different types of population, so who are not satisfied with the same dull blue color. Somebody wants pink color, somebody wants gray color, somebody wants red, somebody wants yellow. So you are also thinking in that aspect of giving different types of color to the masks. So now you can understand from engineering perspective and also from a layman's perspective that if you want to develop a product, three things are essential. One is the science behind developing the product. Second is that obviously if it has to cater to a population which has so many variations in their sizes, in their heights, weight, and other things, that also has to be accommodated, right? The third aspect is something which is related to color, which is related to style, which is related to shape, right? You will not buy a mobile phone if it has sharp corners at the edges, right? If it looks more like a block of brick, you will not purchase something like that. You want something like rounded features on a mobile, you want curved glass, so many wants from a customer. So understanding this, I will get into this aspect. So when it comes to engineering, these are the layman's terms. The first three you can see over here. So what is the science behind it is the first question that any person will ask. The second is size, the third is color. These directly relates to the engineering aspects of a product, which is the functionality, which is the ergonomics, and lastly what is called as the industrial design. Okay, so functionality, let me take an example of this. For a pencil, the functionality is that every time I write, if I have taken 2H or 2B pencil, it should create that much of uh, what do I call that grade of pencil should be uniform every time I write, right? If it is 2H, it should be only that much hard every time I write. That is the functionality. The ergonomics of it. What is the length? What is the diameter of the pencil? If it is very big pencil, right? If the diameter is very big, or if the length is very large, you might remember that there were some of the pencils which we were using earlier, which were very lengthy, right? But it was very good to look at, but you could not use it. There was a rubber hand at the end, but you could not use it because the length was very much. So ergonomics also plays a very important role. And also the industrial design is referred to as the aesthetics of a product. Aesthetics is mainly concerned with the beauty of a product. Beauty in terms of color, in terms of shape, in terms of grouping. So a lot of things actually come. It's more of a philosophical word of what we tell as aesthetics. So aesthetics part plays a very important role, right? The same thing, you think of any product that you come across from today and try to understand engineering from these three perspectives. First is the functionality. The second is ergonomics. Ergonomics is something which is related to, let me not get into the technical jargon. Ergonomics is something that is related to the easy way of handling things. Just the easy way of handling any of the things. When you are using it, it should not create discomfort for you. Imagine an auto rickshaw, you have that lever to start, right? So over the course of years, an auto rickshaw person, he actually develops a chronic back pain because he is using that which is ergonomically not friendly. Second, lifting weights, which actually puts lot of strain on your back. That is also not ergonomic friendly. So any kind of task that creates a discomfort, that is not at all friendly. You should not design something like that. That is the general gist of what ergonomics is, right? So you can apply these three aspects to any of the products that you actually see. It can be a building, right? Building, it has to be functional. Second, the door has to be of certain size, certain height, and the chassis, the entire thing has to be of certain height, right? So you have a lot of ergonomics, and obviously industrial design also comes into the picture, right? The color of the building, the design of the building itself. The different religions, they actually look at the building in different way. So many aspects actually come into the industrial design of a building. So if we take virtual products instead of the physical products, for example, the mobile phones that you are using, look at the icons that you are using. Look at the design of the logos, right? The design of the logos, it is part of what is called as the interaction design in product design. It's a subset of product design known as the interaction design, wherein it has been designed such that any person does not have to be a very highly literate person just to operate a mobile, right? This is the common complaint that you get from the elderly people, that I am not being that I cannot use the mobile phone, I don't know all this technical stuff that happens, I'm not able to navigate through the keypad. But you will always be amused that when your kid, when a small kid is able to navigate the mobile so easily, they know how to do it, right? This is the fundamental aspect of interaction design. How do you design logos? Look at this, the colors, the shape of the logos. so many things. It has the direct impact on the psychology of a person to immediately recognize what these logos are. This has become such standard to the people nowadays that you look at this and you immediately think, okay, this is battery, this is mail, this is location, right? This is the standard that has been created worldwide using interaction design. And also in aspect to the industrial design, you also have the groupings of the controls, which is very, very important. For example, the presentations, the Microsoft Excel, Microsoft PPT, just go back today and look at the way that so many controls, right? There are so many controls in an Excel, so many controls in a PPT that have been grouped together, right? The home tab creates it has all of these things. It has been grouped together. Some of the controls has been grouped together. Some of these controls have been left out. Again, different tabs for different things. Imagine all these things being presented to you without any tabs, right? Most of the time, 80% of the time, you will just be searching for this if this has not been grouped together. So small things are there which has been designed so effectively that you don't actually think the amount of effort that has gone into engineering such products. Okay, so every time you look at a product, you please think from these three aspects. This will help you understand engineering in a better perspective, to start your engineering with a very fresh approach. Because I have seen that even after 4 years, during the time of interview, if I ask a student, how does a differential work, how does the steering work, small things, that how does a car horn work, they are not able to give the answers, because you have not even thought about that. You have completed 4 years of engineering without even understanding the products that you are using every day, right? So please make a concentrated effort on understanding the products that you are using every day. So with respect to this, let me get back to some of the other aspects which I had missed earlier. In the pandemic only, during the pandemic, there have been a lot of innovation with respect to the products, and also a lot of innovation has gone into developing a lot of apps for governance. Okay. So if we take these two aspects, there is a company called Log9 in Bangalore that came up with a Corona oven, wherein you have to place all the products inside. Every day after you use, there will be a flood of UV light on all these things, such that all these things get sterilized in a very small amount of time. So this has become a huge hit among the startups. The same thing is with Vistar. It's an air purifier. It is started by a startup from IIT Delhi. Again, this is a patented technology that microbes that can just filter out a lot of other N95 particulate matter. So this also has caught the eye of the public and also the investors. And then the turtle, they came up with a health monitoring app called the Dozy. Dozy, this is something like a health app is with you, and all the time gives a remote location, remote access to your health, to your friends, relatives, loved ones, so that always know, right? Elderly people who have diseases, they can using this type of technology. You have the cleaning robots that are also there, that have also become this. Most of you have used the Seva, right? So many of you have used these apps, the Corona Watch apps that you have used. Why I am just throwing out the information about all these products and all these apps is that please try to understand the amount of work that is actually going on by entrepreneurs, by students, by companies, and the amount of data it actually requires to actually create something like this. For example, Seva Sindhu Travel E-Pass. How much of data you actually need, right, to create an app like this, or Corona Watch. So you have millions of people who will be accessing these things daily, and every time this happens, there should not be any glitch in the software, right? So you put all your data in the travel e-pass, and at the end of that, if you get the error at the end of it, you will obviously be frustrated out of this. But still, uh, why I'm giving you these examples is that please try to appreciate the amount of work that actually goes behind in developing such apps and such products as well. So this is a coverage of the technology that has emerged from last 8 to 10 months, from simple things like masks, sanitizer, to complete health monitoring apps, air filters. So there are lots of innovations that are happening around. So the main question over here is, from an engineering perspective, it is very easy that you Google out what is the science behind making a mask, right? How do you sell it? All those things are okay. But how do you actually manufacture the mask is something which is actually very critical for an engineer as well. Because either if you want to design a mask or if you want to manufacture a mask, these are the essential ingredients that any engineer should actually know. So try to Google, try to find out this answer to this question, how the masks are manufactured. Just a question to the audience. Okay. So the other aspect of engineering is how it actually works. As I told you that there are three aspects to product design or any product that you actually encounter. So the main thing for any student or any engineer is that please try to learn more about this. There are a lot of books that are available, and I think you might have already seen this. I think How Stuff Works is something which is very popular in the internet, where you can understand how things are made, how stuff works on lots of products, from a hairpin to a machine gun to a jet, how the things work. Same thing are like madehow.com is actually very popular. Discovery Channel has this exciting episodes on how it's made on different types of products, on the design, the manufacturing process that goes into making simple products that we are using every day. And I would also recommend a documentary by BBC. It's called as The Genius of Design, a 5-part documentary that you will understand the efforts of product designers all over the world to come up with beautiful designs, very innovative designs that all of us are using on day-to-day basis. So this is the thing that an engineer needs to possess, I believe, that you should have the degree of inquisitiveness within us, not just you, me, everybody. That inquisitiveness, with lot of inquisitiveness, only then these innovations or other things actually happen. Okay. So is that okay till now? Is it a drag too much? Maybe a yes or no.
Sir, all participants are muted, so only they can post their queries. That's it.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Okay, I hope all the students are enjoying the show as of now. So any queries you can
So one of the
you are
student
welcome
responded,
to.
it's no, sir. One of the students
Okay.
responded as no, sir.
Oh, okay, thank you. Anyway, so more exciting things ahead, especially the recent trends in engineering. So in order to understand the recent trends in engineering, you have to understand the industrial revolution in detail. Again, I'm not going into the history part of it, but the main aspect of it is that we are in what is called as the fourth industrial revolution. I don't know if many of you are aware of this term or not. The first industrial revolution, if you remember a part of your history, we started the mechanization of a lot of the products, the steam engines and other locomotives were started way back in 18th century using the power of steam. Okay, that is how the mechanization actually started. Then we had the second mass production, second industrial revolution happened at the beginning of the 19th century, wherein you can remember the Ford Model Ts were produced, cars were produced, so mass production kicked in, assembly lines started, and the output increased many times because for the first time electrical energy was being used. Till then, it was only the different types of mechanization processes that were entirely purely mechanical. But with the advent of electrical energy, what happened was that the mass production it increased by several notches, and also you had the energy from petroleum that fueled the production. And then by 1969, we started the automation when the computers came in, the electronics, the PCBs, and the entire products getting actually smaller and smaller with the advancement of technology. We started what is called as the third industrial revolution in 1970s. So the output, as you can see over here, the output kept on increasing from 1970s to 2000s. In many of the things, many of the countries all around the world, we are in a mix of third industrial revolution and fourth industrial revolution. So as I told you, third industrial revolution is more about the automation using computers, using robotics, using electronics in order to manufacture, in order to distribute, in order to sell your products. But the fourth industrial revolution is completely different. What is happening is that suddenly, with the advancement of digital technology, especially the internet, suddenly everything has become connected together. And apart from that, there are lots of cutting edge technologies that are coming in, which is kind of, it is blurring the whole divide between the digital and the physical systems. So you are not knowing whether you are in a virtual or in a physical arena to actually even understand the difference between lot of the products that we are encountering nowadays. So this is what the fourth industrial revolution is ushering. As I told you, it started with steam, assembly lines, computing, internet, nuclear energy. All these are the matter of past. We are living in something here, and we are not even aware of it. We are already in the fourth industrial revolution. We are using mobile devices. Already we have cloud computing. I don't know if you have heard about it. There is already augmented reality. There are a lot of apps in your mobile you can download, for example, for stargazing apps that are there. It is what is called as augmented reality. It will throw the stars. If you show your mobile, just pan your mobile all around your house, it will it will throw the stars on the walls, showing that it is actually beyond the horizon. It's like that. It is a part of what is called as augmented reality. Augmented reality is coming in a big way because of the pandemic. People are telling that you don't need to come to the showroom. We will give you an app. You open the app and you can see, you can take a virtual tour, right? It is not just a virtual reality, but it is something more that I want the students also to actually learn more about this. Something very exciting. It is augmented reality. Okay, and then you have the location detection technologies, right? So can you even imagine nowadays driving to a faraway place without using the GPS on your mobile, right? Earlier you had to hire a driver and he will show you the way. And nowadays people are like uh, they don't know the navigation if that actually fails, right? The Google map doesn't work. Suddenly you are stuck in the road. You don't know where to go. So we have become so heavily dependent on the location detection technologies nowadays. IoT platforms, everything is connected. The refrigerator, the washing machine, the TV, right? Already, I think many of you would be using your mobile phone so that you can cast the things from your mobile to TV. Even if you don't have the remote, your mobile will act as a remote, right? How many of us have already used it? We are already using those things, right? And advanced human machine interfaces. I'll just get into these things quickly. Authentication, fraud detection, 3D printing. I don't know if many of you have even seen how a 3D printer actually works. You have this, right? Big data analytics. Everywhere you go nowadays, they only talk about two things, two or three things: artificial intelligence, big data analytics, and blockchain, right? So it has become the buzzword nowadays: blockchain, big data analytics. Now, a lot of the times it's like people will be talking even without understanding basics of it, but that is how it is. That is the buzzword. So we are already experiencing this. We are already living this without understanding that we are already the part of the 4.0 industry. I'll tell you how this is actually blurring the divide between the cyber and the physical systems. Okay, I'll take just few examples to make you understand where we are heading, where the engineering is heading. For example, what companies where I am working are actually heading towards. Okay. For example, 3D printing. Already European markets, they are printing food. It's not polymers anymore. Italy, lot of startups, they are actually printing foods, printing food, printing of pizza, food printing of burger. So don't be amazed next time you go to Europe or somewhere, you'll be able to eat something right out of a machine. Nobody, you just type in pizza, whatever the ingredients that you want, and the machine, it actually makes it and gives it to you. And you have metal printing. Till now it was only polymer printing. Okay, I'm sorry if some of the students don't know what 3D printing is. I'll just go to this. See, there is something called as a subtractive manufacturing and additive manufacturing. Don't go by the words. I'll tell you that if you want to make a block, something like this, imagine that this is your final product. You want to make something like this. So how does it start? Conventional process nowadays, what we use. So initially I take this block of material and I remove the material, right? I have to remove the material in order to get this final product. That is what is happening conventionally. This is how we manufacture the products. I remove material. So that is why it is called as subtractive manufacturing. What is the disadvantage of this? You are creating a lot of waste. This waste gets dumped, it gets burnt, you are landfilling it, lot of pollution, right? So the subtractive manufacturing has a lot of disadvantages. So by in 1990s to around 2000s, what happens is that almost 2 decades ago, they started with what is called as additive manufacturing. What happens is that there is a nozzle, you have the plastic which is heated, and after heating, it will just come through by pressure. Okay, this is a semi-liquid material of polymer material. It actually comes down, and what it does, it will first, it will make this layer, then it will make this layer, it builds this layer, likewise layer upon layer, it will just create. So at the end of it, this looks similar to this. Both of these are similar. So what I have done, I have just used polymer material and I have built this. But you might ask me that strength wise, is it good? Is it compared to this? Is it good? Yes, absolutely. Because depending on the different types of polymers, you can
Sharath,
have the same, yeah.
Sharath sir, your screen is not moving. It is in innovation and governance slide only. Is this the slide which you are showing?
Are you
It is
seeing
in,
it?
yes, we are seeing pandemic and technology.
Okay. Okay. Let me stop sharing and is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
Are you able to see the 3D printing slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, please let me know if
Sir,
there are any
it's
issues.
loading. It's loading. It's not yet visible.
Okay,
Yes, sir. It's visible now.
okay, okay. Yeah, please let me know if there are any issues.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Okay. So yeah, so no queries raised from students, I think.
Sir, there was a one question now. How to get new
Okay.
ideas?
How to get new ideas? Okay, I'll get to that. Interesting question. Thank you for that. Okay. So as I'll just quickly go through this, and we can take up the questions at the end of the session. Please post your questions. I'll be happy to answer to the extent that I know. Okay. So this is what the additive manufacturing, subtractive manufacturing is. Okay, I'll just go back and just talk to you about what we were discussing earlier. Is this slide visible about 3D printing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in the top one, so you have what is called as the metal printing. Okay. So it is not just polymers anymore. The machines are able to print metal. For example, in the previous company that I worked, the machine was able to print out refrigerator hinges right in front of your eyes. It will just it will just make a 3D printed metal hinge. You take it and you assemble directly onto the refrigerator hinge. Okay, so it is already being used in dentistry. So the dental implants are made by using 3D printing. Okay, not just for show, it can be directly used. Prosthetics using 3D printing. Organs, biomaterials are being made by 3D printing. And recently, I think it was in London. It was in London that a two-story building, a complete two-story building, was made through 3D printing. Right? This is where it is going. So 3D printing is being used everywhere, from food, metal, prosthetics. I mean, it is being used as biomaterials. It is used in construction. It is even used in space. Everywhere, it's 3D printing nowadays. Okay. I think many of you might have seen the Neuralink, right? Tesla's new invention. I would not call it an invention. It's a part of innovation, wherein the SpaceX and the Tesla, they have jointly collaborated with a company called Neuralink, wherein they want to have the brain implants, something like this, that will actually get into your head. Why? Because a lot of the diseases or the impairments that are happening in human beings, like deafness or blindness, those can be directly avoided by triggering the neurons, which is not working. So students of biology, you would be able to understand this much better. So the nerve endings, where there is the electrical energy that is being transmitted from neuron to neuron, if this Neuralink, what it does is that it kind of triggers those electrical responses between the different types of neurons. Recently, it was tried, not just recently, it is being tried even now on lots and lots of pigs. The brain implants are used, So what happens is that you can see this image. Is this image visible? Are you able to see this?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So you can see over here that as the pig actually starts running on the treadmill, the responses from the various parts of the body are being recorded in the Neuralink as different responses in the brain. So this is something that they want to actually use it on the human beings, maybe in a decade or so, and cure people of blindness, deafness, and other things, or the neurological disorders that are happening in the body. Something which is just completely different. And other thing, see, 3D printing, Neuralink, all these things are something, yeah, this is very good to hear, this is very good to watch and all, but something which is coming right to your door in next 1 year, 2 years is something called as the home automation. The fourth industrial revolution is coming with a big bang to all our houses, okay, wherein using a single app, single mobile, you would be able to control everything in your home. You'll be able to control your car, you'll be able to control washing machine, refrigerator, TV, computers, lighting systems, printers, everything. So it's a part of home automation. So lots of companies are investing millions of dollars in this. They will install different types of sensors in your houses so that the home automation can actually be realized. This is happening, and companies are investing a lot on this home automation. And automation in agriculture, that is also something which is which lots of companies have already started. A lot of startups are investing, right, because of less number of labor force in agriculture, because lots of people, they, every generation to generation, they are actually leaving the agriculture, coming over to the towns, coming over to the cities. So the villages are in dire need of labor. So instead of providing the labor, what is happening is that more automation is coming in. You have agricultural sensors that are used extensively nowadays. A lot of agriculture sensors are coming. Drones are used, right? Drones are already being used in many places to actually spray the insecticide, pesticides. There are cattle trackers that are now available, uh, that is used in dairies, that will monitor the health of cows. Aquaponics, robotic farming. So all these things are already there in this. Okay. So this is the second question to the audience. Please, as I told you earlier, please have a look at what is actually augmented reality. What is the difference between virtual reality and augmented reality? Try to find more info on this. Very informative and very exciting to know. Okay, so I'll quickly move to the other aspect of it. I'll be quickly covering this in another 5 minutes or so. So we have understood the recent technologies, right? The recent trends and technologies that are happening in the engineering aspect. But there is another aspect to it, which is actually creating a lot of crisis. Okay, so because of the human-centric development, we are experiencing three types of crisis. One is the material crisis, which is happening, which is creating a lot of pollution in the world. The second is what is called as the mental or the emotional crisis. Okay, I'll get into this. And third is what is called as the ethical crisis. So these are the three crises the world is actually going through, and engineers are both part of the. I would say the engineers have become both the heroes and villains of this story. We have created a world which is actually human-centric, developed world. At the same time, engineers are the same people who are trying to find a cure to this crisis. Material crisis, I don't know, you might have seen, sorry, there is, this actually came very recently, that the microplastics are seen in the placentas of unborn babies. If somebody does not know what microplastic is the plastic which is actually 10 microns in size. Okay, very small. We are already breathing the microplastics. It is disintegration of the plastics. It creates the microplastics. Okay, something which is very shocking. I think this came just a week back in the Guardian in the in the lot of science journals. They reported this, and scientists have also revealed that the babies they are being fed formula milk in plastic bottles, wherein the leaching of the chemicals, the leaching of plastics is actually happening, and babies are actually swallowing this millions of particles a day. So very small microplastic, something like 0.01 mm. How do you measure that, right? So in terms of micron size, very alarming, right? And the second aspect, I'll just jump through a lot of things are there because of pollution. The Pacific Ocean today has become what is called as the great garbage patch. You have the ocean currents. They are taking in all the garbages. 8 million tons of plastic is ending up in the oceans every year, and these floating plastics, they are seen even from space, even from international space stations. We have created a garbage patch in the world. And then the air pollution, which I was telling, just in India, this is also a very recent report. Air pollution every year it is contributing to almost 1.67 million deaths is happening due to dirty air, just in our country. And Bangalore, this is also not far away. So the Bangalore air, just past decade, it has worsened to 46%. Right? So and the waste management system, right? Waste management, you have the solid waste and you have the e-waste. In the solid waste, we are creating tons of municipal waste every day, and even the educated people, we should be ashamed that we do not even segregate the dry and the wet waste in the dustbins, right? E-waste, the mobiles, laptops, computers, batteries, those things we just throw it in the garbage along with the other materials. As engineers, as would-be engineers, students like you, I think you should also take much care from at least today to understand what e-waste is, what municipal waste is, what crisis we are actually creating by dumping all these things as part of landfill. Okay, and a lot of other tragedies. Agricultural tragedies are rampant in our country. Please try to look into the details of this. There is what is called as a cancer train. I don't think many would have heard about it. It is in Punjab. It actually goes from Amritsar to Bhatinda. Because of heavy usage of pesticides over decades in Punjab, what has happened is that people actually have got a lot of cancer, lot of types of cancer. So there is actually a special train in which people actually go to actually get the cancer cured in the nearby hospital in Amritsar. And this train has been infamously, it has become to be called as a cancer train. A Yavatmal tragedy in Maharashtra recently, wherein people, I think 10 to 50 people actually died after spraying a very toxic pesticide because of inhaling the fumes, and because of a lot of other things, they actually died after this. And Kasargod endosulfan, I think most of us would be able to understand this. I will tell you, one of my friend from IIT Kharagpur recently told me, because he's working in filtration, that the endosulfan has actually penetrated into the groundwater, and the traces of endosulfan are being seen in Mysore, groundwater in Mysore. What was sprayed decades earlier, we are still not able to filter it out, and we are seeing the traces of it in groundwater in Mysore, the endosulfan. So look at the crisis that we have created in the name of development, in the name of technology, right? And if there are any book lovers out there, I will recommend, please read this book. A Sixth Extinction by Elizabeth Colbert. It was a Pulitzer Prize winner book, which actually talks about how the development in terms of technology, engineering has created this rampant extinction of wild animals, of biodiversity, and where we are actually going through. Okay. And also till now we just talked about the material crisis. There is other aspect to it, what is called as the emotional crisis, which is being created because of the social media platforms, because of the smartphones we are using. We are not able to.
So again, I think PPT has been paused.
Paused. Okay, let me share again. I think already 2:50. Is it okay if I take 5 minutes?
Yes, sir. 5 minutes.
Okay, sure. Are you able to see my screen?
No, sir. Now it's okay.
Okay. Able to see this mental and emotional crisis?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So to all the audience out there, these are the things which are actually very alarming nowadays. From the recent surveys that has seen 80%, 70 and 80% of the smartphone users, they check their device within 15 minutes of waking up, right? All of us do that. Every morning we get up, first thing that we do is that we want to see what messages we have got. Right, 2017 university study, it tells that on an average, people actually check their phones 34 times a day. I think it might be more than 50 or 100, don't know. So the average has actually gone up. And this is what I would recommend again the audience to actually please read the book Hooked by Nir Ayal. Very, very famous book on how the technology is actually creating these things, and how companies are finding that the economic value is actually by creating the habits, right? It is not just having millions of users for a game. You have to make the user addicted, right? PUBG, you have to make the users addicted so that they can actually use it. Netflix, there is a recent documentary called A Social Dilemma. Please also go through that. That is also very, very good. So I'll just come to the last remaining 2 slides. So the other aspect of the crisis is what is called as the ethical crisis. Again, there was a recent film on what is called as the Dark Waters. This is actually related to the C8 material, which was actually used as part of what we know as Teflon material, right? In the cooking utensils, in the pans that we were using. So it has been seen that the C8 it creates cancer, it creates a lot of other diseases, but still the companies, they actually covered it up because they just wanted to make the money. So ethics is something which we are losing out in engineering nowadays. You have rampant amount of corruption that has actually come in, wherein people, just for the sake of the money, what they do is that they sacrifice on the functionality part of it. People don't care if other people fall sick, if they die. So this is something which is very alarming. So what do we do? What is the solution? Lots of solutions are there. I would request the students to actually go through lots of sustainable solutions that are there in the market. What the scientists, what the engineers, what the entrepreneurs, what the companies, how they are actually coming up with lots of other sustainable solutions. And there is other method to it, which a lot of entrepreneurs are telling that we have to go towards minimalism. So at least detox, come out of the social networking for some days, use less amount of materials, have reduced carbon footprint over the world. So a lot of solutions are being told. around the world. So I urge the students to also look into the different types of solutions that are there. Again, last one, are you able to see the screen?
No, sir. Again, it has been stuck in mental and emotional crisis.
Okay, okay. Okay. Last time I will just share and leave this. Is it okay now?
Okay, Sharath, just full screen mode ge ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನ.
Okay, right. So coming to the last but one penultimate slide. See, where we are going nowadays is that after 4 years. So what is the future for many of us, many of the engineers, right? So the thing that is there in the market, that the thing that is running around in industries is that the current engineers, the engineers who are graduating from various institutions are not employable. They lack the basic knowledge. They lack the specific skill sets that are required to do the job specific to that industry. Okay, so there is a perception that if you know software, you will get easy job. You know something else, you won't get the job. These are the lot of perceptions that are there in the market. So I would recommend what you all to do is, if you can look at the summary of the summary sheet. Are you able to see this last one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so these are the things that I would request all the students to do. Please ask more and more questions. As I told in the beginning, please use lots of websites that are there, howstuffworks.com, lot of books that I have told. You can also use the OTT platforms to watch lot of documentaries on engineering. Those are the things. So ask many questions. Try to get more knowledge as possible. The second one, always get updated with the recent trends that are happening in engineering. Okay, and this is the time that the engineers have to work as a team. Okay, so this is where the old proverb, jack of all and master of none, this is the time for to be jack of all. You have to know a bits and pieces of, if you are a mechanical engineer, you have to know bits and pieces of electronics, software. If you are a software person, you have to understand a bit of chemical engineering, a bit of civil engineering. So only people who actually have diverse amount of knowledge are able to adapt, are able to get employed in various companies or various institutions. The next thing, experiment. Try to build things on your own instead of paying it to somebody and get your project done. Please don't get into that bad habit. Try to get your hands dirty. Do something. If you fail, it is okay, not the end of the world. Your lecturers, professors will appreciate the effort that you actually put to actually get something done. Even if it fails, does not matter. The effort matters. So please experiment more and more. Okay, and get the basics right. I have interviewed lot of people from the colleges, nothing on basics. Okay, all words, all empty stuff. So please learn the basics. Next 4 years, this is the most crucial thing, because if you know basics, only then you'll be able to apply it to real world problems. And lastly, very important, DFE is something known as design for environment. So whenever you are designing something, whenever you are thinking of developing something, have a small part of your thought towards the environment as well. That will actually help us in going a long way. So I think there was a question on how to get idea, how to get new ideas, how to do innovation, how to file patents. So all these things, it starts with the first thing. You start asking questions. You please try to understand how the product works. It's not something that happens overnight. Okay, it takes a year, it takes 2 years. Learn a lot, and then start applying. Because I'll tell you just one example to end this. One of my friend again, he has a startup from IIT Bombay. Recently, he went to Israel. Okay, he went to Israel, and he told me a very interesting story, wherein he told that people who actually graduate, I mean, who actually come out of their schools at your age, like 17, 18, they are enlisted in the army for a number of years. So what happens is that for 4 years, 3 or 4 years, they are made to learn more about the problems that their country is actually facing in terms of water, in terms of agriculture, in terms of lot of other things. After coming out of the short service commission from those enlistment, then they actually get into the technical front, like engineering. So what happens is that you already know what the real world problem is. For example, I have seen a lot of people who are drinking muddy water, who are not drinking safe water. So what I can do in terms of technology to actually build a product that will help them. This is the thing that is actually helping Israel to actually come up with so many entrepreneurs, so many companies, so many startups every year. And this is where we are lacking. We just study at one stretch and then try to find a problem that will fit to what we have learned. So we have to experiment a lot. We have to learn a lot in order to do this. So I'll end my presentation over here, and I congratulate all the students for choosing the college, for starting their engineering career course in this, and I wish the best of luck for in your future endeavors.
Sharath sir, there is one or two questions are there.
Okay.
So one of the student asking a doubt that elder says nowadays engineers don't have work to do, and they say that don't take it join to degree, it will affect us. What about your opinion? And that same kind of a question is asking one more student. He's asking the same. The parents will misguide us not to do engineering. It's a waste of time and it's useless. Please give your suggestions, sir. By your suggestions, we can open our elders' eyes and on having a black spot of engineering in their minds. And being an product designer in one of the premier company, what is your opinion about this? How can student convince their parents about engineering?
So do they mean that they did not want to join engineering, but they were forced to
No, no,
join engineering?
the students are willing to join. They are very happy about it, but the parents are pulling them back, saying that there is no scope for engineering.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
being in a technocrat, what is your opinion?
Yeah, thank you for those questions. Something which is very burning nowadays. The parent and the children conflict has been there always. So what I would like to tell you is that, see, before choosing some aspect of engineering or medical or arts, please try to understand, are you convinced that you have actually taken up the right course? Is your interest and the engineering course that you have taken, does this match? That is the first thing that I'm asking, not the parents, not the other persons, because most of the times I have seen that you have joined this course because your friend has joined. Somebody told you that this will after 4 years you will be getting a career in Infosys or in some reputed institution. Please come out of that. I'm telling, instead of blaming the parents at the outset, let us take this one step at a time. First step, please ask yourself, are you really interested in this branch of engineering? Why you have chosen this engineering? If you are able to give yourself an honest answer, not just a job, then you will be able to convince your parents. If not, it is very futile that there will always be altercations with your parents. So if you are ready that I have taken this course and I will be making something meaningful in my life. I will try to develop something that will actually help somebody. If you have a larger kind of goal, then you will be able to convince your parents, then you will be able to convince yourself first. Okay, so please ask yourself that is this correct way of what you have done. I think that will be.
Yes, it's a great insight, Sharath sir, and especially about the opportunities during the pandemic time, and also the challenges as well as the ethical responsibility of an engineer, and especially these things will be in our as a student's mind, and they want to take it further in their career. So thank you very much, Sharath sir, for joining us and giving insights about the opportunities and challenges in the recent trends. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for
Thank you.
thank you ATME for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, Sharath sir.
Thank you.